and welcome to Body Evolution. Today I'm going to go over aerobic power intervals. This is on the map at the bottom. It's the workout that a lot of people actually dread because it's a 17-minute workout with 15 minutes of work. You're going to be doing 3 rounds of 5 stations. When at each station, you are trying to accumulate as many reps of the movement as possible because you're going to get a minute of work at each station. There is no rest between the stations. So you have to plan out how many reps you can accomplish without completely tiring yourself out and moving on to the next station. Also, you're going to have to find a way to write down your score. So if it's your first time doing this, you want to plan to stop maybe 10 seconds early of each minute and write down how many reps you just got. Because your score is going to be the total number of reps from all 5 stations for all 3 rounds. Okay? It's going to be 5 stations with a 1-minute rest after the first and second round. But that 1 minute of rest is really not enough to recover for all the work that you just did if you really pushed it. So if you work for the full minute, not only will you not have time to write down your score, but you won't have enough rest to really recover in that 1 minute. So my suggestion, if it's your first time, is to just get on the board, to look at the numbers that you have to hit to just get a score that counts. Like in blue, that's 150, so that's 10 reps of each movement. For all 5 movements, that's totally possible. The hardest one there, I imagine, would be the burpees, if it's your first time. But if you've done this before, let's talk to the people that have done this before. Strategy. You've done it before, you have a score. I really hope that you wrote down the reps that you got at each station, because knowing that really helps. Somebody next to me might have gotten 25 wall balls, whereas I only got 15. So I don't want to work from the same kind of numbers. I want to know what I have done in the past. I'm hoping that you guys know what you can accomplish in a minute just from your personal experience, because really the best part about the aerobic power intervals, it requires a lot of strategy and it requires you to know yourself. You have to know which movements are your bread and butter. Me, I'm not a good burpee guy, so burpees are going to be the least of the numbers of the reps that I do. So for me, shooting burpees, and there was a couple of times in the previous rounds that I did that I got like 10 or 12 burpees, which is not a lot, because I was going upwards of 30 hang power cleans. Okay? You have to know what your movements are, and then you also have to know what you can recover. So maybe you're awesome at push press, great, but that might not mean that you should do the full minute, because if you're like me, you go from push press to burpees. If I work the full minute on push press, I'm not going to get very many burpees. You want to get reps in every single movement. Now, using your information from the previous time, maybe you got, I'm going to use myself as an example, but maybe you got closer to, let's just say 85 and you want to get to 100. You're going to look at the reps that you accomplished in the first time, and then to get to 100, that's 15 reps. So between 85 and 100. So I have to add those reps to each movement. Okay? If I was getting 20 box jumps in a minute, adding 5 box jumps is not going to be possible for me. Same thing with the burpees. If I was doing 10 burpees, I am not going to add in 5 burpees. Maybe I could do 1. Maybe I gave myself some notes and said, hey, just take it easy on the burpees. And maybe I'll say, okay, hang power clean and push press are your bread and butter. Add 3 to the hang power clean, add 2 to the push press. Boom, I just added 15 reps to my total score. Okay, so that really helps if you know yourself, and also if you have done this workout in the past. So keep in mind, for those of you that are doing this the first time, you're gonna use that same information. So the next time you do this, you'll use the information you gained from the first time by keeping track. I did this many burpees, this many push press every round. Then also make notes as to, I could have done more, and maybe I could have done more hang power clean if I hadn't tried to push on the wall ball, and that would have been better for me because I'm way better at hang power cleans and I'm okay at wall ball, that kind of thought. Also, wall ball takes 1 rep is usually equal to 2 seconds. So if you say you want to do 10 unbroken, rest for 10 seconds, and then do 10 unbroken, that's gonna be 50 seconds, okay? That makes sense? Or if you, let's just say you did 20 unbroken, that's 40 seconds of work, okay? Try to meet the standards of each movement. For the wall ball, hip crease below the knee. Hit the target, you have to hit above the target for it to count. You can't hit the women's target if you're a man aiming for the 10-foot target. That doesn't count, that's a no rep. Then the hang power clean. Most people, where they see the no reps, the hang power clean, you can go, boom. This is like a CrossFit standard right here where you bounce it off your thighs and get those bruises. Elbows in front of the bar. So if I'm watching you do your hang, if you see me looking at you from the side, that's what I'm looking at. I want to see elbows in front of the bar. A lot of people just do this, which is a no rep. Then box jumps. You have to make sure that you stand all the way up. You can't just land and then step down. You gotta stand up and then step down. And you must step down, by the way. You can't jump off the box. Then push press. This one's a tough one because when your arms are full of blood and you can't feel your arms, a lot of people will be doing push press like this. You gotta lock out your elbows. Push your head through if you can, but make sure your elbows lock out. Don't do this weird bench press in the air motion. That also would wear out your shoulders a lot. Push press will be key that you have this ability to pull your shoulders forward and hit the rack position each rep. So it's down, up, hitting my shoulders with the bar. Shoulders, not just collarbones. Then burpees, you must touch your chest to the ground and you must stand all the way up to hips extended. You can't stand up to here and count that as a burpee. That is all the movements for blue to red. The version 2 map also has a white to orange where instead of burpees they're doing bodybuilders. Instead of barbell push press they're using dumbbells. The box jumps become step ups. And then the, hang power clean is Russian kettlebell swings. And I think the wall ball is still wall ball. I can't remember, but it is a little bit lighter, okay? But this one, it's all about strategy and it's all about knowing yourself. So maybe even take some time and look at this before the workout. I'm recording this almost a week in advance so that you can start game planning ahead of time. It's pretty easy if you took good notes from the last workout though. Always think about your future self. All right guys, hope I see you there. Thanks.